What's going on, guys? It is Straw Hat Goofy with another YouTube video for you today, and it is another installment of Goofy in the Morning, where we break down the news and things that I found interesting from last night or things that I saw in my bed this morning. But it is February 1st, which means I want to do something a little bit different. Instead of looking back on the news and the recaps and things of that sort, I want to look forward and actually talk about some movies that we should keep our eye on in February 2022. January was a pretty slow month for movies, not a lot of memorability there, but February, I think, is pretty much going to be the same thing, as well as March. These are like the 3 months that we just kind of hold reserved for like the Oscar season and just kind of like, talk about movies from 2022 that we're doing really well. But there's still some potential bangers happening in February 2022, and I think we should keep our eyes on them. So let's just jump into it. So I think the most anticipated movie that is talking about and everyone's going to be talking about is obviously Uncharted, starring Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. Now, it's a video game adaptation, and history serves to say that the video game adaptations are not always the best. I mean, I could probably only name maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 that I actually dug with and actually think are really good movies. Now, I did play Uncharted 4. I didn't play the other ones because I unfortunately didn't have a PlayStation when the other 3 came out, but I've played the 4th one, and I think Nathan Drake is one of the most charismatic video game characters of all time. He's actually one of my favorites, right under Knuckles. Tom Holland definitely has charisma. He definitely has the chops to carry a movie, and it seems that they're going to really be trying to make a franchise out of this. I don't see how they cannot make a franchise out of Uncharted. I mean, it literally has 4 games and I believe a spinoff. It looks like this movie is going to be a fun globe-trotting romp, and I'm a big fan of those type of movies. I was a big fan of Jungle Cruise. I was a big fan of Red Notice. Uncharted is the video game version of that. Even if it's cheesy, I think the movie will accomplish its job. All right, this is going to be weird that I mention this next because I don't think a lot of people are really talking about this one, but there's a certain crowd. Marry Me is being released this year. And I saw this TikTok where somebody was saying that Marry Me seems like it was a romantic comedy that was plucked from the mid to late 2000s and put in 2022. And I kind of got to agree. The premise is weird. I saw the trailer when I went to go see Scream, and it was just one of those it was like a J-Lo film that came out. What was it? The Wedding Planner. It seemed like The Wedding Planner, but like a spiritual sequel to that. I'm getting ahead of myself. Marry Me stars J-Lo pretty much playing herself. She's like a big kind of singer, pop star or whatever, and she's supposed to marry this guy who's also a big singer in the world or whatnot. She's supposed to do it live on stage, but then she finds out right before going on stage that he cheats on her, and so she just randomly chooses a guy who just so happens to be Owen Wilson in the crowd and says, "We're married now." The reason why I bring this up is because I saw another TikTok where somebody was asking, where did all the romantic comedies go? And they're out there. The romantic comedies are out there. And this is one of the newer ones that are released. So if anybody else was wondering that question, Marry Me is actually there for you. This next one is a big surprise for me, just for me, because I feel like everyone has been talking about this movie and I just haven't had it on my radar at all. I think I may have seen a poster at a movie theater, but Moonfall is another movie that a lot of people are excited about. And I finally saw a trailer to it. It looks pretty interesting, right? It looks like a really cool big blockbuster, almost like it's like Armageddon or The Rock. And again, it feels like we're taking films from the late 90s or early 2000s and then just putting them in 2022 because it's definitely The Rock mixed with Armageddon or Deep Impact, and we're just doing it with Halle Berry. The stories pretty much follow astronauts as they find out that the moon, not a comet, the whole moon has been knocked out of orbit and now it's hurtling towards Earth, which is 10 times scarier than a comet because a comet is comparatively smaller. But if a moon hits, that's that's more than cataclysmic. The Earth is done. It's not even like the dinosaurs or the humans die. The Earth is done. I just realized we just got Don't Look Up last month too. Okay, there's a lot of things hitting the Earth movies that are happening, and I'm just is this a genre? Okay, for this next one, this seems to be a theme here because again, bringing back something old and putting it in 2022, Jackass Forever is happening. I didn't think I was gonna live to see another day of another Jackass movie, or at least another Jackass movie that was part of the previous Jackass franchise. In Jackass Forever, perfect title because it's the 4th Jackass movie. I believe the last one we got was 3D, so Jackass Forever actually works. I believe it's been 12 years or so since we've gotten Jackass 3D. So the boys are back. Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O. I don't know if Bam is in it. I think they cut Bam off. I think he was going to be in the movie, but a lot of legal troubles that he got into just caused him to cut ties. But yeah, we got some new guys. We got some old guys, and people are going to get kicked in the balls a lot, and there's going to be a lot of pee and genitalia, but Jackass Forever, I have really nothing else to say. Jackass Forever is happening. Blacklight, I'm not even going to talk too much about this here. It's a Liam Neeson flick. He's an agent with a particular set of skills. Take your pick of which sequel to which Liam Neeson movie that is a part of. It could literally be any of them at this point. So Blacklight, Liam Neeson. Another movie that a lot of people aren't really talking about, and I'm to blame for this, and I'm not to blame for people not talking about it. I'm to blame because I saw it. I saw the trailer, and I specifically chose not to talk about it on my TikTok. This movie is called Kimi, and I feel like we should be talking about this because The Batman comes out in a month, and this movie stars Zoe Kravitz. It's a dark action, kind of like tech drama where Zoe Kravitz's character has agoraphobia. She does, did I say that right? Agoraphobia. I said it right. Zoe Kravitz plays a character named Kimi who has agoraphobia. She doesn't want to leave the house, and she witnesses or thinks she witnesses a murder of her neighbor. So she tries to call, but you know, the agents or people who are listening there's a conspiracy theory, and she has to leave the house in order to figure it out. It was weird. It was a very confusing premise, which is probably why I chose not to talk about it. But it's Zoe Kravitz right before she becomes Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman, in the Batman. So I think it's something that we should definitely see. Every now and then there seems to be those movies that come out because, you know, the actor has a very big movie coming out that year. So they put out another movie that was made years ago, but for whatever reason, the studio didn't want to release it. And now they're releasing it because they're trying to capitalize on that actor's fame. We saw it with The Social Network and Jesse Eisenberg when they put out that one movie about him in a cabin. I don't even remember the name. I don't even think we should even talk about it too much. But yeah, this happens a lot. So again, this could work in their favor because, again, it's Zoe Kravitz right before the Batman. So and the last movie I want to talk about is Dog. Now, every year there is a movie or 2 or 3 movies about a dog. We got A Dog's Purpose, we got Driving in the Rain, we got Marley and Me. The list goes on and on and on. But this one has Channing Tatum. And I think this elevates it. It's a comedy with Channing Tatum and a dog named Lulu. And they're doing a cross-country road trip. I don't think we need to say anything else. Alright guys, so that is the video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure if you like this content, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell to get notified for my other videos because it definitely helps the algorithm. You guys take care. I will see you next time.